I'm Ben Bailey, chef, and proud to call New Zealand home. I learnt my trade at some of the world's best fine dining restaurants, then came home to cook, earning 3 hats, 2-time Restaurant of the Year and 2-time Chef of the Year. But it's time to go out alone and open a truly unique New Zealand restaurant. I want to find out what exactly our New Zealand cuisine is, where our produce comes from, and is it sustainable? I'm going to travel the country doing so. I want to create authentic New Zealand dishes, and believe me, it's going to be tough.
It's come in 600,000 over budget.
Join me on my journey. We're going to lose all the bollocks that comes with fine dining. This is truly a Kiwi story told through food. It's high risk as everything is on the line, but I need to follow my dream. My business partners and our families have been in Marlborough hunting.
Beautiful shot. What I mean?
Foraging.
There you go, that's it.
Wow, look at the shape of that. And getting prepped for an AHI pop-up in the beautiful Waterfall Bay. And the day has finally arrived. It's first thing in the morning on the Saturday. We're doing our first AHI pop-up. I really want the menu to reflect the region and reflect where we are. I don't want the menu to be refined or fine dining by any stretch. We're trying to find out what New Zealand food is, right? So it's going to be raw and rustic, still really delicious and ingredient driven. So how that's going to look is we'll know when the guests show up, which is kind of cool too. And I think you want to be organised because that takes away stress, but you don't want to be too organised because in the unknown you find often the magic. And this is sometimes where the best dishes come out of. It'll be the start of a dish. It won't be the dish we serve in a restaurant, but I really like the sound of this, for example, using bilk kelp to protect the vegetables, to heat them up. We're going to bury it in charcoal. It's going to get all crispy. We're going to crack it open. We're going to chuck it down on the we're going to chuck it down on the table, and people are going to kind of fight their way through those. I know it's going to be good, and I know people are going to love it, but we're doing so many things that are new. This is Marsha. She's the queen of Marlborough.
Goodness.
She makes the best bread in New Zealand.
Make sure you pick the best looking loaves.
That one there looks pretty good. They all look pretty good. These are the blue mussels that we harvested during spearfishing. They're so beautiful. Underutilised in New Zealand. Everyone loves the green lips. I just love these. I love the blues. Blue mussels, that's where it's at. These are not really commercially used. They're a wild mussel. The mussel farmers find them quite annoying because the spat latches on to the same space that the green lip mussels inhabit. So as they pull the green lips up to be harvested, there'll be 15% of these guys naturally growing. So they have to import special machines to take them out, and they just throw them back over the side. I'm just saying, can't you sell these? At the start, they just thought I was a pain in the butt asking, but now they're starting to come around to the fact that they have something growing that they can sell that they're not selling. It's just going to take a bit of work and organisation for them to figure out how to do it. I wonder Cam. So good. So what we're trying to achieve here for the restaurant, and for ourselves really, for Mike and I, we're really good at making food taste delicious. Sometimes we overcomplicate things. You know, you have you're a chef when you're 20, kind of really gung-ho and grunting along and learning as much as you can. Then you kind of in your 30s, you become a head chef. You write your first menu, you start to lead a team. And then when you get to your 40s, you kind of start to wonder who you are as a chef. And I think Mike and I, when we cook, we sometimes put too many ingredients on a plate. We're kind of guilty of that. But it's often because we're using substandard or, you know, not the best ingredients, and we're always trying to elevate the flavour to make them taste delicious. The thing is that when we go around and we meet all these growers, we have a direct connection with them. We're able to order directly. I'm setting up a supply chain at a certain time of season. Like, I know where the best figs in New Zealand are now. So we have to build up a network of suppliers. Without them, we're nothing, you know? So we have to walk and travel the ground, learn about a region, meet people, and just build on those connections. We're not just picking up the phone and ordering from some random person. Man, they look good, eh?
In less than 2 hours, our paying customers will be arriving and we really want to impress them. So it's all hands on deck to get everything done, kids included.
Mom, I started to draw on my thing.
Okay, so this is the octopus that Jerome caught yesterday, but with his bare hands, and he bit its head to kill it whilst he was down freediving. So I've cooked this for him. I've cooked it in his wine. So he's made the wine, he's caught the octopus, and this is going to be something just for him. We've harvested some lemon wood, some new shoots of lemon, shoots that don't have any sort of buds or flowers on them yet, and we're skewering the octopus with it, and we're going to grill it.
There is a lot to do and a lot to keep true to our AHI beliefs of pushing the boundaries and letting the produce themselves do the talking.
We're pretty behind. It's just the way it is. I mean, we're doing so many things.
Today we'll be serving ta-ta-ta-ta, local albacore tuna, Queen Charlotte broth, barbecue ash crayfish with sericin flowers, tar kebabs, flame roasted deer loin, panna cotta, smoked ice cream. And to add to the pressure, my first ever boss has come. He is someone I respect immensely and I want to make him proud.
Ben and I met in Te Awamutu where he was washing dishes and I was chefing. And I fostered his interest in food. And when he started to leave, I said, you go and work in as many places as you can for at least a year and pick their brains. And that's what he did. Great support in Cara. She used to pick him up and work in Te Awamutu at night. I think we were both at high school at that stage, so a long, enduring relationship, like Joseph to Napoleon, I think.
Come next to me over here. It's raw tar. Tar, tar, tar. What's up, brother? Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Try to remember where you go so you catch everyone, okay?
The tartar phenomenal, absolutely delicious.
Oh, wow. Tell us about this.
Well, this is albacore tuna have just started.
Ooh,
so the sea's warmed up on the top of the South Island on the west coast. It's in a little, kind of like a piadina, like a puffed bread.
Beautiful. Thank you.
No, we're on schedule. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's got a drink in their hand. Canapes went well. Looking forward to what comes next.
So far, so good, but now it's time to ramp things up. We're at the beautiful Waterfall Bay in Marlborough catering a function where we are showcasing some ideas for AHI's menu and everyone is getting involved.
Good boy. All right, I'll do the rest. All right, so what's happening here is we are ash baking the crayfish. Yeah, we want to recreate this in our fire. So we've got a little, this big fire pit that we're making. We're going to have a drawer in the bottom that will catch the ash. And essentially, it's about cooking the crayfish. Watch out for hot coals, guys. It's about cooking the crayfish inside the ash. We're going to blacken the outside, but not overcook it.
Looks amazing, mate.
Good man. So this is your octopus.
Cool.
So I've cooked it. How do you say the wine?
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro, 100%, with some vegetables. And I just poached it very gently. I salted the octopus, massaged, and now I've skewered it on lemon wood.
Unbelievable. Just magic.
You inspired me, bro.
Yeah, man. You're doing it for me now.
First half of the menu completed and I'm stoked with the results, as the comments have been positive.
Now it's time for everyone to get inside for the serious part of the menu.
New Zealand food has been influenced by so many different cultures, especially by our European forefathers and mothers, and our heritage, you know. So now a lot of people are doing Māori food, which is awesome, and so we're trying to find a balance between the whole melting pot that is New Zealand, and everyone's got something to add, and Then of course focusing on the regions and how we gather food, and you know, being super proud of what our Kiwi cuisine is and who we are as Kiwis through food. We're getting a little taste of Marlborough, okay? It's going to be 6 courses on 1 plate.
This is it. We've all worked so hard, and it's nice to see some of our ideas coming to fruition.
So we're opening up the seaweed, and inside are our beetroots. Again, a concept dish. You can imagine Chris at the table with AHI trying to do this.
Concept dish.
It's going to be hard, but
It's going to be great.
And we keep pushing the AHI ideas.
okay, this is just a real simple dish of summer turnips, raw and cooked, calbanero from Marsha's Garden, bone marrow, and black pudding of venison, wild shot red deer from Premium Game, beetroots cooked in the bill kelp.
It was spectacular. It was really nice, magical.
Oh, it was amazing. Great.
Phenomenal. I think, the food that Ben's cooked today just really speaks of Marlborough and sourcing local ingredients and pairing them with some local wine is an awesome occasion.
Being with Ben out and catching the food and to understand his creativity and the way that he put things together was just something really, really special.
But it's not over yet.
So Mike and I have been working on this for a wee bit. These are smoked ice creams. Cream's been clotted, reduced, and then we lightly smoke it as we're almost clotting or reducing it at the same time in the oven. So 80 degrees for an hour, and then right at the end we'll add a few wood chips that have been set on fire with a nugget of charcoal, and then Mike made the ice cream from it after that. So it's conceptual again, like, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So the week's been long. We've discovered heaps of things. They do everything well down here, and it really is one of the food bowls of New Zealand. But outstanding quality, you know, their quality down here is superb. Connecting with the suppliers was probably the most important thing for me. I think coming away and doing the pop-up's been hard, especially on Mike. Mike's a very structured chef. He likes to know exactly what he's doing, and so I spin him out a little bit, so I need to go give him a cuddle. I think, and deservedly so, the poor guy, put him through the ringer. I think Bex and Chris and I, and just spending time here together is great for our relationship. People say you shouldn't go into business with your friends, but we've gone into business and become friends, and we want to make sure that stays like that. And so to have Bex and Joe's kids out here has been really special, along with Cara, my wife, and our kids. And hopefully next year, if we come back, you know, Chris can bring his children as well. They're quite young. It brings us closer together as our own little kind of business family. We're starting now to hone in on what AHI's going to be, what the concept is going to be, what our price point is, what our food offering is. People were really impressed with the rusticness of it, and little things that I didn't think were going to be that great, like cooking beetroot and bill kelp. People loved that probably the most, so that's been interesting. I don't know, it's first stepping stone in a big long journey, and I can't wait till the building gets finished and we can get into it.
After a successful trip away, back in the city for a bit, so a few of us are going to check on the progress of the restaurant as a few issues have surfaced.
So on the plans, these downpipes weren't on the plans, so they've magically appeared from somewhere. And well, yeah, we tried to, we wanted to move them. We wanted to move them over there, but because of some pretty heavy constraints with the existing base build, it's just not feasible. Or we could, but it cost us tons of money and tons of time, which we don't have. So this is actually a walkway here, but it's not a major. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. So the walkway now becomes between that pillar Pretty much.
And these pipes, so instead of people being able to walk right through here, they just have to do a little dog leg, as Simon says, and that'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. Better tell Crystal instead. Yeah, I'm feeling still nervous. It's we're 14 weeks away. Glass not on the roof. No glazing for our windows. All our big stackers coming in. There's still scaffolding everywhere. It looks like they are kind of ready to fit it out. We're ready for our builders to come in, but it still feels a long way away. It's nerve-wracking with a year and a half longer than what we expected already. But it's great to be here on site. I mean, the boys are sussing out the electrical, the AV, making sure we've got a good sound system. That's important, right? But, you know, man, these guys need to move. Like, I'm really questioning this 28th of March deadline. I'm not a builder, but I do know a little bit about building. But I just can't see how it's all going to get done at this stage on time.
Something that is important to us is that everything in AHI has to be locally made. I'm making the trip to Te Miro in Cambridge to see the uber-talented Tom Muir, who is passionate about timber, only uses salvage wood, and his work is exceptional. And it's this type of detail which will help with the look and feel of the restaurant. I'm off to see what he has to offer.
How are you?
Hey, Ben. Good to see you, mate.
Oh.
Don't
Awesome.
Mike.
It's good to be in your shed again.
Yeah, well, that's just another day in paradise, really, eh?
As you know, we're building a restaurant. It's named AHI. So what's going to be a major part? I love New Zealand timbers. So do you. You're the expert.
No.
We want to build heaps of plates out of wood and kind of change it up and not serve everything on ceramics that, you know, restaurants normally do.
Yep.
So what type of woods have you got? Have you got any ideas for what we should do? This feels really heavy. What's this?
That's super heavy, isn't it? This is a piece of puri which has been in the Waipu River for maybe 4,000 years. Puri's a really, really good timber. It's kind of like New Zealand's version of teak. It's just primo. It's fantastic for making chopsticks out of, or like real hard implements. Rewa, which is a beautiful wood for platters.
So that's like honeysuckle.
Yeah, honeysuckle, otherwise known as, and it is edible. This piece here and that bit there both come from a Taupo eruption before last, not the recent one, but the one 4,000 years ago. So they've come out of the Manawatu River about 20 feet under the shingle. Like, we don't cut down anything to make anything. We just get logs that have already fallen or that have been, from logs that have been cut down years ago.
So some of these timbers have been buried for thousands of years.
Yeah. This is a piece of river mat from the Haast riverbed. We had some of this carbon dated, pieces at about this sort of colour of darkness, and they were 3,300 year old, that particular log. You know, the native timber of New Zealand is, being a little bit biased, I'd say, are some of the most beautiful in the world.
Oh, totally.
And this is some of the rarest examples of it. I could talk, as you probably can gather, all day about timber, and I'm no expert, but I know that what we deal with is beautiful, and it's perfect for your job. And it's just going to blow your customers' minds.
Wow, it's blowing my mind, that's for sure. What do we need for the restaurant? We need cutlery, we need some platters, we need some wooden bowls.
Yeah.
We need little bowls, like to serve little condiments and stuff.
Yeah.
We need little bowls for salt.
This is black miry, so this is another wood that we'll use a lot for you.
Wow.
All our wooden blades, for the knives and things like that, and all the spatulas and a lot of the kind of cook's tools where there's a lot of abrasion and kind of strength needed, we use the black miry. They used to run the main trunk line when the old steam trains used to pull into Auckland, they'd gas up, they'd bunker with black miry instead of coal.
Wow.
Yeah, so like thousands of tons of black miry disappeared onto the main trunk line,
wow.
Which is pretty tragic, really. The whole planting of pine trees was like a mega mistake, really, but the best we can do is to salvage some of the damage and make beautiful things out of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, especially for you and your clients, hey?
What a way to preserve it.
Yeah, I'll say.
Hi, Louise. How are you? Tom and his wife, Louise, are amazing, passionate, inspiring, and I need to tell this story of our native New Zealand timbers. Their craftsmanship is second to none.
But it's amazing, like 4,000 years, and we're able to hold it in our hands. It's just phenomenal. So that's definitely something we should be using. I'm like a kid in a candy store here. This is amazing. So that's Totra. Come on. Can I guess one right?
Let me feel it. No, sorry.
Oh, God.
That's Matai, River Matai from up north. So,
Oh, yep.
yeah, it's a couple of thousand years old at least.
What about this? Look at this.
What is it? Ah. Yeah, okay, what's that?
This is definitely Totoro.
Yeah, bingo.
I'm just going to keep saying that until I get it right. So this is a table.
What do you reckon?
It's gorgeous.
Tom is making our tables from 1,000-year-old Matai timber that has been salvaged from the Haast River. I love that story.
Well, it's a great legacy you're creating by telling these stories and giving that great gift of knowledge to us, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a real privilege to be able to do that and almost make a living out of it.
But with big dreams comes big costs. Having to pull over and take a phone call from my project manager and a bite to eat, the day does not end well.
So the restaurant is way over budget, 600,000 over budget. We have a budget of 2 million, we don't have a budget of 2.6. So things are quite stressful up there. We have building consent and our final plans have come through from the architects and it's been priced. So heaps of pressure. That's $600,000, we just don't have it.
And right now, I don't know how I'm going to cut costs.
And it's nice to be out of the big city, but there's nothing worse than poor fish and chips, that's for sure.
I'm not prepared to compromise on my dream. Somehow, I'll have to make it work. Next week, I continue my research and head to Taupo and the Hawke's Bay for two things that are dear to my heart.
The chickens just love it, ranging under the apple trees here. I want our customers to taste the beef that you have reared, and for me, that's a real point of difference that no other restaurants are doing.